Welcome to the Twist News. I'm Erika Grey. Today I'm going to talk about a development with the European Union and the United States forming a transatlantic alliance concerning AI. Now, this was reported today in Euractiv, which is an EU policy website, online news rag that reports on EU policy. And the title of this piece is US-EU AI Code of Conduct, First Step Towards Transatlantic Pillar of Global AI Governance. And it states that the recent boom in generative artificial intelligence tools such as ChatGPT has spurred a flurry of multilateral initiatives as regulators attempt to respond to the breakneck pace of developments of AI systems, and that amidst these efforts, the EU and US is coming up with an AI code of conduct, and that this initiative they also want to spread to the G7 countries. Now, I want to let you know what's concerning about this is the EU already has its Digital Services Act. So whatever it decides in this initiative is going to be in line with its own Digital Services Act, which the US has to go along with. And the EU has already published a digital code of conduct for AI in an attempt to basically write the rules of AI for the world, like they're writing other rules right now. So this initiative with the United States, I can almost guarantee you, is going to be spearheaded by the EU, and their policy is going to be hard on the table that the US will probably go along with, as well as having its input. This is not a US-led initiative. Trust me, it is an EU-led initiative. But here's what's spooky-wooky about this stuff. What's spooky-wooky is the fact that already the Digital Services Act threatens to shut down parts of the internet that don't conform with its version of democracy. Now, some of what it's eliminating is justified, but it's also got its version of democracy. So doesn't the United States. The United States now is engaging in very clear censorship. And I don't want to say the word because then my channel is going to get dinged. But what's very spooky-wooky about this initiative is the fact that you're going to have censorship, and the free speech is definitely going to be eliminated if it does not fall within the guidelines of what their brand of democracy states. And so the teaming together of this is just going to mean that on both sides of the Atlantic will come limitations to free speech. The other scary piece of this is that this talk through the last 2 decades of a new world order. What is scary about this is the world order since the Russia-Ukraine conflict is seriously emerging. And we're seeing the empires. The EU is an empire. The US would be considered an empire. Teaming together, as well as Russia and the BRIC nations. The empires are now banding together, and with other countries that might not be or would not be considered empires, to push forward their brand of politics. And for the West, and then you have the BRIC nations making their case stronger. The BRICS are working against the US dollar right now. The West has its own initiatives. And so what you're seeing is the powerful players on the world stage getting strength from teaming with the other, which is what the EU is doing with this AI law or this AI initiative, and then they want other like nations to adopt it, and then it's adopted throughout. So this is how policy is now happening, and the empires are pretty self-sufficient or trying to be self-sufficient and teaming with the other empires to get maybe the things that they may need that they don't have. But on this AI initiative, this is frightening because the laws are going to be very similar and negotiated, and then it's going to be imposed through whoever else adopts it. And some of these laws truly violate free speech. You'll want to pay attention to the developments as this goes further. I will be reporting when the EU and US finalize an agreement like this. And of course, then they're going to pitch it to the G7, which most likely many of those nations will adopt it. And that's now how global rules are going to be coming about, is through these alliances of these empires. Hope you found this informative. Stay tuned for more. Check out the rest of the videos on this channel. Subscribe if you don't. And check out the Twist News Amazon store, where the experts who come on are featured, their books are featured in the books for sale section. Anyway, till next time, stay tuned.